No. No. All right, folks.
Did you put your head this way?
I did.
You're horrible.
I'm gonna try and get through this video without hacking up along. So welcome back to Defining This Thing with
Ian
and Patrice. So last time we left off, we were telling you guys how we had just bought our very first house. Woo, 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 go us. So closed on the house on a Wednesday. Had work and school on Thursday and Friday. Saturday, there's no work. Saturdays, there's no school. Sat down in our brand new house on our brand new sofa. Turned on the television, and there's a storm in the Gulf of Mexico. Hit it directly for New Orleans. Now, we're no strangers to hurricanes, right? I mean, we've grown up. We've had hurricane parties.
Every year, you get a bunch of them.
Yeah, I mean, you just cook all when the power go out. You barbecue your meat. Play your music on the radio that had the batteries.
Yep.
And everybody, cards, kids running around playing. Like, it's a fun time. It's like a little mini reunion because everybody just kind of congregates in one house.
And you be off from work, so that's the best thing about it.
No work, no school. It's pretty much like a vacation. So if you can afford to leave, a lot of people would, take off, they'd be off. They drive out to Houston and stay with family and friends. Houston or wherever, like family, wherever your family was. That was a good time to do like a quick little vacation. Mm-hmm. Well, I called my mama and I'm like, hey y'all, we just realized there was a storm in the Gulf. We just bought this house. We ain't got no money. Y'all staying? My mama like, yeah, we staying. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't running from no storm. We gonna be all right. The Lord got us.
She did say that.
So we like, okay, if y'all ain't going, we ain't gonna go either. Now keep in mind, we had just closed on this house on a Wednesday, so we had to pay closing costs, or we had some fees associated with the purchase of the house. And then we moved, so it was the moving expenses, and while we were doing a lot better with our money because we were able to qualify for a home loan, we still had not really mastered like saving and all that. We were still definitely living check to check. So we was broke. And I think payday was Friday. But I don't even think, like, you had a paper check. I didn't get paid because I got paid twice a month. You had a paper check there. You had to go try and find somebody to get it for you. It was locked in a safe some damn well. So Saturday, we just monitoring the news. Everybody I'm talking to is like, no, we gonna stay, or we gonna go ahead and go. We gonna go see my family in such and such place. Oh, okay, cool. All right then. Well, we was just, checking in, trying to see what y'all gonna do. Sunday.
And on the news, they were talking about mandatory evacuation.
Yeah. So that was like I want to say like Saturday was voluntary. Went to sleep Saturday, woke up Sunday, and it was mandatory evacuations. So now I'm like, shit. Now everybody who was planning on staying is now, if they had a way out, they were getting out. Or so I called my mom and them up, and my mom was like, girl, we left at I'm like, left. They were on the highway, like en route. Didn't call, didn't send a smoke screen, no pigeons, nothing. They were gone. Your mama, we called your mama. Your mama was like, we just know we stand. Mm-hmm. We gonna ride it out. His mama lived in the East. So we were like, well, if your mama and them live in the East. But then I panicked. And I was like,
why did you trip for real?
I just was like, I think for me it was, we were in this new house in this new part of town. And this was going to be like the first hurricane that we had gone through.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I didn't know like what the area was going to be like. If we would have been in the lower 9, I mean, I know what to expect. I know the neighbors. And yeah, I don't know. So I end up panicking at the last minute. We packed a little overnight thing. And I was like, well, let's just go to the Superdome. The Superdome have generators. This is me because I'm smart. I'm logical, strategic thinker. Let's just go to the Superdome. The Superdome have generators, so we'll have power. Maybe limited power, but we'll have power. We'll just be sitting in the stands. The bathrooms will work. It'll be fine. We'll be in there. And then I didn't even think a couple days. I was like, we'll go in because the storm was supposed to hit Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, we'll go in the dome. The storm gonna pass over tonight. They gonna let us out tomorrow after they, see what the flooding situation and stuff is. Kid interruption. So we are thinking like, I'm thinking, because Ian was just like, I don't really want to, like he wasn't like fully on board. There was hesitation there, but he went along with it.
We just bought this damn house. I'm staying at my house.
He really was like on that. Like we just bought this house. We gonna stay in this house. I'm like, but we don't know these people. We don't know this JP, because the house was like technically in Gretna. I'm like, this JP, man, I don't know what they gonna do. I panicked, and so pack up a little bag, pack up all the house paperwork, and we go to the Superdome. But my thinking was storm will pass over Sunday night. Monday morning, after they've assessed the city and made sure, everything is safe, they'll let us out. We should be home by Monday night, Tuesday morning at the very latest. So we get to the Superdome, and at first, everything was like I said. We had found us some nice people there to sit by, and we was just talking shit, and they was playing cards, and everybody was sharing snacks, and the bathrooms was working, and everything was just cool. Like it was just like it was like an event at the Superdome.
Just like you said in your head.
And in my head, I'm like, I called it. I knew it was just gonna be cool. It was gonna be cool, and it wasn't a whole bunch of people in the dome. And then, Old Dark is happening, and you can hear the wind
inside the
Superdome. You can hear the wind. You shouldn't be able to hear shit that is happening outside the Superdome if you're inside the Superdome. And then all of a sudden you see
God open up the heavens.
It was a window. Melodies from heaven rained down on us inside the Superdome because there were several huge holes in the ceiling of the Superdome. At that point, I realized,
why are we looking at the moon?
We done fucked up. So, and when I tell you things went from like everything's cool, everything's fine, we just having a good old time, to oh shit, what the fuck? We need to get the hell up out of here. Just like that. Because
like that day, like after we woke up, after that shit was all messed up, people started coming in there. Like,
by the droves.
A bunch of people, like soaking wet with nothing, just
empty hands, babies in their arms. Everybody's soaked. But they was coming in just masses, just flooding the Superdome. And so we're watching the people coming in, and the more people came in, the worse it got in the suit. Like, it went downhill so fast, y'all.
Like them first 2 days, they was giving out
MREs,
like water and stuff.
Yeah. Y'all can take what y'all want. Here, you want some? Here, take this, take that. Like, and because it was the National Guard that was in there, kind of like like they were in charge. But I knew that we needed to get the hell out, because I had gotten up to go to the bathroom. And when I went to the bathroom, the plumbing was no longer working. It was overflowing. Like, there was just a layer of like
shit,
feces and piss and
on the floor. And it was starting to trickle out into the hallways in the Superdome.
And on my way back out, I had stepped outside, and when I went outside, all the National Guardsmen who were like, oh, here's this, take that, you need that, oh yeah, they got a generator over there, you can charge your cell phone. They was like all the play was gone. They were like serious moods, gun, like, like ready, like you could just tell, like their whole body language was just different. They were like, where are you going? You need to go this way. Where were you sitting? You need to go back where you came from. And so I'm like, what the hell? So I think I had ran into a police officer that I knew from when I worked at NOPD, and he took me around to the front of the Superdome, and that's when I saw the water. And that you can see the water had them made it up to, like, there's these huge ramps that lead up to, like, the Superdome's main floor, and the water was like halfway up those. And so he was like, man, he was like, this is flooding everywhere. It's flooding everywhere. He was like, yo, this the best. He was saying to me, it's the best place for y'all. Just stay here and just ride it out. Just stay here and ride it out. But I'm like watching all the people coming in. So now you're talking about the blending of wards. So you got 9th Ward, Uptown. Listen, bitch, it ain't safe. It ain't safe. You got all these niggas from the project.
Not just that shit. People like didn't have no meds and shit.
Right.
Like going crazy.
Yep. There was, but before we left out of the Superdome, I had heard rumors that 2 people had jumped off,
committed suicide.
Just jumped off, and then I had heard of one little girl being raped in a bathroom. So this is Monday afternoon leading into Monday night.
That's like on top of all the fights and bullshit.
Yeah, just that humbuggish spirit, you know. So like it went from being like just chill to like this ain't cool. So we ended up that Monday night, we were talking to our friends, because remember we had made friends. And so the lady I wish I could remember her name, but the lady, we was telling the lady, we was like, we getting out of here tomorrow when the sun come up. We
like
gone.
It was like jail though.
It was, because they weren't letting people.
They weren't letting you leave.
They had guns, and they were like, you need to go back where you came from.
Because they had that, what you call it, like curfew or whatever they call that shit?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't be on the street over there.
Yeah, it was a curfew, and they had initiated martial law once everybody started looting. So we were
which is stupid. What the fuck are you doing for? Like for real.
So listen.
If you get clothes, they're gonna be wet. You can't get no electronics.
Listen.
Just dumb as shit.
So we were talking to them, and I was like, listen, we gonna leave. We parked our car in the up at the top of the parking garage by Tulane Hospital. We going back to our car. We rather sleep in our car than be up in this Superdome, because it's about to get bad. And the lady was like, baby, I ain't leaving from out of here. I think we gonna just stay. So we exchanged numbers, and I told her to, like, I had gotten like her daughter's number, because her daughter had evacuated her, or I think her daughter had evacuated, or her daughter lived somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So I had gotten her, her information, and I was like, yo, if we get out, I'm gonna let your daughter know where you at. So next morning, Tuesday morning, the sun up, and so we, now we got our little bags and shit. We packed, and people still coming in, like just fucking hordes of people. So we coming, so we trying to get out. And literally every single door we went to, it was a security guard, a National Guardsman, an NOPD, or like the Louisiana National Guardsman, like, you need to go back, you can't leave, you need to stay, go sit down, you need to turn around. And then finally, this one guardsman was like,
he was like, hey, if y'all want to go, shit, go ahead. Mm-hmm. We like, psst. And
as we like running past him before somebody else could see, because he was like, y'all don't want to be out there, but if y'all want to go, because he didn't say it like, I don't give a, he was like, y'all making the worst decision of y'all life going out there. Like, y'all can go ahead if y'all want to. And we was just like,
all right,
bye. And so we running, so we get down there. Remember the guy in the boat?
Mm-hmm.
So Ian like, say bro, I give you some money if you take a side call. And that dude was like, bro, you see all this fucking water? Your money don't mean nothing. He was like, I'm trying to save people's lives and get people in the Superdome. And we was like, you don't want to take them to the Superdome. You don't want to bring nobody here. So like literally, we just I think I had on capris. I just pulled my little capris up, and we are, when I say literally wading through the water, literally wading through the water. So we walking down I can't think of the name of the street, but it's the street that it was at this time it was like Lord and Taylor, the Superdome, whatever that street is that runs past City Hall. So we walking down this street, and it's like the closer you got to Charity Hospital, Tulane Hospital, and that parking garage, the water levels receded. So I'm like, what the hell? but that's just the shape of the city. So it's like it's deeper in some parts and not so deep in others. So when we got to the parking garage, the entryway to the parking garage was flooded. So we knew we wouldn't be able to get out unless I'm like, if you had a truck, you could probably get out. But if we had a little Kia Sophia, we wasn't gonna be able to drive that car through, and the car was not in like the best working condition. You know, it could get you from point A to B, but point A to B did not include driving through water. Nah. So we just drove the car all the way up to the roof, got a signal on the cell phone, and I remember I called my Aunt Faye because she was like, News Central. If I called her, I knew everybody would know that we were at least where we were. And so ended up I think I called that lady's daughter. She didn't answer the phone. I texted her.
The stuff in the oven is done.
Okay. Can you go up the stairs, close the door, and don't come back down here again?
Yes, Daddy.
Yes.
Could you make some grits?
I will make that for dinner for you, dude.
Okay.
All right.
So, we kind of get up. We try to use the phone, call, and notify people. I tried to text as many people as I could text. And then we ended up, we just drove back down because there's this, bridge that takes you from the parking garage for Tulane to Tulane
Hospital, school,
medical center. And then there's another little bridgeway that takes you from the medical center to the hospital. So, we noticed when we were coming in that there were doctors and nurses kind of sitting out there, sitting in their truck. You just kind of taking a break. So when we drove our car down and parked next to them, because we were like, at least now we have people who see us. And, so again, now we done found us a little safe place and we just kicking it. So the people, doctors and nurses, they coming backwards and forwards. And then remember the guy, the dude came running up with that damn machine gun or the shotgun, that big ass gun. So we all just sitting out there.
Looking for somebody though, right?
He claimed he was a police officer because he came running around that corner so fast, and we all once everybody saw the gun, we was like, we ain't see no evil, hear no evil, bitch. We blind, take what you want, just leave us alive, So he was like,
he was looking for somebody.
Yeah, he was like, did y'all see two people or somebody run through? And we like, nah, ain't nobody came through here. Now keep in mind, some dudes hadn't came through there. But that wasn't my business to tell. They hadn't came through.
Took a truck or something.
They came through in one truck. They left out with two trucks. That ain't my problem. And I hope these people have insurance because, it is what it is. So, and then somebody started sniping at people off of the top of Charity. So now there's gunshots ringing out, and where we were literally, Charity Hospital is on this corner, Tulane Medical Center is on this corner, and the parking garage
in the middle. So
we watching people. We watched the doctor. Remember that doctor? Motherfucking boat pulled up.
Oh yeah.
Doctor. Ain't the doctor supposed to take an oath about do no harm and put the patients first?
Dude bounced out.
Whole family and the bird
bounced out, bro.
He came out there with a bird cage. We like, hey, can we get a ride? Can we get out with y'all? And they talking about, we gonna send the boat back for y'all. Y'all know ain't no boat came back, right? So by this time, ain't nothing like crisis to bring you close to people, right? So we sitting out there and we done bonded with these people because we not at this point, we done witnessed the robbery. We done had snipers. We done had the duck from bullets. We done watched somebody escape. And so now we bonded. So we had to made friends with this one girl. So she was like, what y'all doing tonight? We was like, we just gonna stay in the car. And she was like, no. She was like, y'all come over. My family is over here in the medical center. And she was like, y'all can just kind of hang out with us because I don't know what the hospital is doing. We're like, all right, cool, whatever. So we go in there and we, just camp out in the hallway. But I will tell you this, the hospital, those employees had their shit together because the toilets, they had them put bags down in the toilet bowls with the kitty litter so you could use the bathroom and not clog it up. They had their survival shit together. So we sleep in the hospital on Tuesday night, on the floor. And then that next morning, the girl was like, well, it's time for me to, my rounds or whatever. So she was like, and then she came back and she was like, they about to start evacuating the hospital. She was like, I'm gonna do my very best to get y'all out with the patients and, you know, like y'all patients' family members. And she was like, but they had then given everybody in the hospital had bracelets. Yeah. We didn't have no bracelets. She was like, I'm gonna do my best, y'all. She was like, I don't know if they're gonna let, you know, she was like, but the Tulane is getting evacuated today. Mm-hmm. We like, all right, just tell us where to go and whatever you say, we gonna agree to. And so we walk out the medical center, across the little walkway bridge to the hospital. And we walked up, she's talking to somebody and they were saying something. She looked back and we just like, help us please.
Like, what you gonna do?
What you gonna do? So we didn't go nowhere. We went straight up to the very, very tip top helicopter pad on the top of Tulane Hospital. And it was like the elderly and the sick, they was taking them out and putting them, like literally wheeling them out in hospital beds, putting them on helicopters. One helicopter gone, one helicopter land. They load that one up for beds. That one take off. Another helicopter land. They
have a system though. Like all this shit was together though.
That shit was working like clockwork. Meanwhile, Charity.
Dad.
Yeah, so they definitely had systems working. Like
they had this stuff
their
together.
Emergency plan was tight. So third helicopter land, clipboard, like I don't know if he was writing down band numbers, patient numbers, whatever he was doing, but he looked at us, he was like, y'all ready? And we was like, yeah. So first helicopter ride, my first helicopter ride too. So we on this helicopter, we don't even know where the hell the helicopter going.
Don't know where the shit going at. We just hopped on him.
We on the helicopter, y'all. We flying. So the helicopter takes off.
But you can see like the whole city, and like most of the city was under goddamn water. That places that don't even flood was like underwater.
Yeah. We were like, so for me it was like, I just knew we needed to get out the Superdome, and Ian also was like, it's time to go.
Yeah, that's
like that was like, it wasn't no long discussions, no debates. It was like I looked at him, he looked at me, and I was like, it's time. And and usually me and Ian, we could bicker, we could go back and forth, we could like needle each other. When I tell you we was in lockstep agreement the entire time, ain't no disagreements, B. We together. Where you go, I go. Where you be,
like,
I shall be there also.
It was like all eye contact.
It was eye contact, and I'm with you, dude. We done had whole conversations, ain't said a word. So now we on this helicopter, and like we just knew that it was bad. You know, we just had that inkling that it was bad. But once we got up in the air, and you can see water everywhere, like it literally was like the highways, the interstates were like emerging from water everywhere, and
our interstates are up. Like, our interstates aren't like flat on the ground. So, yeah, that tell you something.
Aren't all interstates raised? Oh, yeah, you're right.
You drive interstate every day to go to work. Well, you don't go to work on interstate,
but you're right. They're not parallel.
Nah.
No. So yeah, you're right. So it's like all the so if you got an on ramp, all the on ramps, it's just like water then bridge. So people on the bridges, people on the roofs of houses, people just walking in droves drenched, people in boats, people on like air mattresses. You just saw like chaos and devastation.
And you got to realize these people that's been on the roof have been there for
since
at least
Sunday night,
3-4 days.
Because it was Wednesday when we were getting out. So that
happened Sunday night.
So yeah, and then you got a lot of people don't know how to swim. So like if they just made it to high ground, so whether that was the roof of the house or that was like scrambled to the interstate before it flooded, they just was trying to survival. Your survival instincts kicked in, right? You did what you had to do to get out. So this helicopter that we done got on, we don't know where the hell it's going, right? So we get off the helicopter and they're like, the helicopter landed at Armstrong Airport, and the airport is in Kenner. Kenner was, the airport wasn't flooded, but Metairie was flooded. Kenner got some water too. So there was still like damage there, but it wasn't nearly as bad as the city. So we get off this plane We got our one little bag, and we still we dry, but we stink. And they're trying. So there's this. They were like, there's this information desk. Get in the line. Somebody will tell you what to do next. So we get in the line and we just wait patiently because I don't know.
Let's go see what they doing.
We're gonna see what they doing, right? So we get in the line, and this lady comes in a United Airlines. She worked for United. She had on United Airlines uniform, and she was like, she wasn't behind the desk yet. She was coming in. There was like a line of people, but we were like really close to the front of the line. Like there may have been a few people in front of us. And so this lady walks up and she was like, talking to somebody else. And I think I overheard her say, well, she was like, well, this plane was just bringing in first responders to help. She was like, but we can't, I think she said something like, we're trying to see how many people we can put back on the plane because we can't fly this empty. It would just be wrong of us to fly this plane back empty. Yeah. So I was like, she was like, so we just gonna start a list of, people. So I was like, okay, fine. So, it's like 1, 2, I think we might be like third or fourth in the line. So when we got there, she was like, well, this plane is going to Chicago. Do you have family in Chicago? I was like, it doesn't matter, ma'am. We'll go to Chicago.
Wherever the first plane going, that's where the hell we going at. Shit.
We had never been to Chicago in our lives. So, got our names on the list. I think I tried to send a text message to somebody, to Faye, saying, we getting out, going to Chicago. So we get on this plane. Now, keep in mind, we've had like little snacks, crackers and shit, but we really haven't eaten since Monday maybe. So we get on this plane, and everybody gets on the plane. It's just like drenched or dirty or smelly.
No, we didn't get on a Chicago plane though.
We did get on the Chicago plane.
I thought we got on a plane to go to Kentucky.
We got to Chicago first.
Ah, okay.
So we get on the plane. They make an announcement that this plane is going to Chicago. Once you get there, if you don't have family in Chicago, you will try and do our very best to help you, get in touch with somebody to try and, they'll have, I think she said we'll have like phones or something so you can try and get in touch with your family, try and figure out your situation from there. Because this was like, we were like basically the first batch of people to get out. So as far as like disaster response from the other states and like where people were ending up, it hadn't really, systems hadn't been set up yet. So we get to Chicago, and they bring us to this room, and in this room they've just plugged in phones everywhere, and they're just like, don't worry about it, you can call wherever. And the people who had family in Chicago, they went on to Chicago. So I remember that my daddy was living in Kentucky at this time, living in Louisville. So so I called him, and he was like, well, we'll drive to Chicago to get you. So I was like, talking back and forth to the people. And then she was like, well, if they're in Kentucky, we'll get you to Louisville. If you have family in Louisville, we'll put you on a plane to get to Louisville. I was like, okay. She was like, it leaves in 12 minutes or some shit. So now we like running, literally running through the airport, get on the plane. And now we're in Kentucky. So as we coming out to like meet ground transportation, there's my daddy standing there with I think one of my cousins was with him. And I swear, I have never been so damn happy to see my daddy in my entire whole goddamn life, right? So, we get there, and my daddy like, what the fuck is going on in this motherfucking city? They done blew up the goddamn levees. Oh my God. And to know my daddy is to know that that's exactly how he talk.
Yeah, that's how he talk.
So he cussing and fussing and, conspiracy theory in it the whole way to his apartment. And we just in the back shell shock, like, what the fuck done happened? Like, how did we go from being a homeowner on Wednesday to Wednesday of this week being homeless?
No job.
Nothing.
No
money. And living with my daddy, who I've never lived with in my entire whole life.
Yeah.
So we get to Kentucky.
But what about the the meal on the plane. Man, bruh. We murdered them damn airplane meals.
Listen, I am like, I could possibly be one of the more pickiest eaters you probably have ever met in your entire life. I don't eat peas, I don't eat carrots, I don't eat this, I don't eat that. I don't like sauce on my food. I really don't like my food to touch. When I tell you,
them plates was clean as hell, boy.
It was some kind of Asian something. It had like chicken. It had all the things I don't like. It had peas. It had carrots. It had rice. The rice was covered in sauce. I ate every single morsel that was on that plate. I don't know if it was good or if it was bad, but it was good to me on that day.
And it was warm.
And it was warm. It went down so good. It was so good. It was so good. Listen, after not eating food for days, it was the best meal ever. So now we're here, and I'm actually gonna stop this one and start the new one to continue it. So thank you for watching part 1 of the Katrina story. We're going to continue it on in the next video because we're already at 33 minutes and I don't want it to be too long. So we're going to stop it here. We're going to continue recording, but you won't see it until next week. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and share it with a friend. Okay?